AITA for walking out of a family barbecue after being told to clean dog poop and do yard work, even though the invite never mentioned any of that. Last Thursday, I got a message from my ex-wife. It wasn't weird. We co-parent our kids and occasionally see each other at family gatherings, especially since her stepdad, who's fairly chill, hosts a lot of them. This time, she invited me to what she called a family barbecue at her stepfather's house scheduled for the weekend. I figured it would be a good opportunity to show some goodwill, catch up with a few familiar faces, and let my girlfriend meet some of the extended family in a casual setting. So I agreed. Wanted to be helpful. I didn't just show up empty-handed. I brought a pack of quality sausages, made a potato salad and a pasta salad from scratch, the kind of stuff that usually gets compliments. Since the forecast looked sunny and warm, both my girlfriend and I dressed for the occasion. Casual summer clothes, clean shoes, sunglasses, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy, but certainly nothing we'd want to get dirty. We even planned to stay a couple of hours, chat, eat, drink a little, and maybe walk around the garden if it wasn't too crowded. Nothing in the invitation suggested anything other than a regular social barbecue. As soon as we arrived, something felt off. We were barely through the gate when one of the hosts, my ex-wife's stepdad, greeted us with a cheerful, "Hey, glad you could make it. Before we get started, we're just finishing up some yard stuff." I was confused. I asked what he meant, and that's when he told us that before we could enjoy the barbecue, everyone was expected to help with a few tasks first. Those tasks? First, clearing the patio of dog poop from dogs that weren't even mine, and second, clearing a corner of the garden where he wanted to install a greenhouse the following week. Apparently, they needed the bushes trimmed, debris moved, and ground leveled. I thought he was joking. I laughed and said something like, "I didn't bring a shovel, and I'm not exactly dressed for landscaping." He wasn't joking. Neither was anyone else. In fact, a couple of people gave us looks, and my ex chimed in with, "It won't take long. Just pitch in a little." I stood there, holding a tray of food, in clean summer shoes, while people in cargo shorts and work gloves started handing out tools. At this point, I calmly stated that we weren't prepared for yard work and had expected, a barbecue, not unpaid manual labor. My girlfriend gave me that wide-eyed, "What the hell is this? Look," and I could tell she was just as uncomfortable. Instead of understanding, the mood changed completely. My ex gave me this cold stare and muttered, "You always think you're too good for anything." One of her cousins flat out said, "If you're not going to help, you don't belong here." I looked around. Most of the guests were already in the backyard, in full yard work mode. It was clear that this wasn't an optional help if you want situation. It was more like contribute or leave. I didn't raise my voice or argue. I just said, "All right then, we'll head out." We left the food on the patio table, said a polite goodbye, and walked back to the car. I could hear someone say "typical" as we left. We ended up at this quiet little country pub with a garden view. Had a nice drink, shared a burger, and enjoyed what turned out to be a lovely afternoon. My girlfriend thanked me for handling it calmly. She said she would have felt super awkward digging around in a garden in sandals and a sundress. I didn't think much about it after that, until I got home. That evening, I started getting tagged in passive-aggressive social media posts. Things like some people just can't handle a little hard work, or barbecue freeloaders in their fancy shoes. Then, one of the teenagers, I assume a niece or nephew, directly commented that I was lazy and embarrassed myself in front of the whole family. Since then, it's been a weird mix of guilt and disbelief. I keep replaying it in my head. Was I wrong for walking out? Should I have just sucked it up and helped for an hour, even in the wrong clothes, just to keep the peace? But the thing is, it really wasn't what I was told it would be. If someone had simply messaged, "Hey, before we eat, we're doing some garden work, wear old clothes," I would have appreciated the honesty. I might have still said no, or at least shown up late, but at least I wouldn't feel duped. Instead, I walked into what I thought was a relaxed family gathering and was instantly expected to jump into manual labor, like it was some kind of test of character. So here I am, wondering if I overreacted. Maybe I should have stayed and just done the bare minimum, held a trash bag or moved a chair. But part of me feels strongly that you shouldn't need to perform physical labor to earn your spot at a barbecue, especially when you were invited under false pretenses and even brought food. I feel like I was manipulated into showing up as free labor, then shamed for not playing along. It wasn't a community project or a favor for someone sick or elderly. It was a backyard makeover scheduled on the sly. So, AITA for walking out of a family barbecue when I realized it was actually unpaid yard work,